Hello. I've been meaning to do this video for ages, but I just haven't got around to it. And then last night I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to make that video. This is really just a kind of an advice video from someone who's in a band and also organises gigs. So I'm kind of using what small amount of experience I have to kind of give a bit of advice to people who are just starting out in a band and stuff like that. The main point of this video is just respect, which I will explain. Firstly, before anything else, your sound person and the people that are putting your band on, they're gonna email you or send you a Facebook message or anything like that asking you to play. Always respond as soon as you can, because for me, when I send an email to a band and I don't get a response, I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to bother another time. If you don't even get an email back to say, thanks, I've acknowledged that you've sent me a message, if I don't get one of them back, I'm kind of like, it's good to have an initial strong contact with your promoter. Because if you don't have that, they're going to have a bad impression of you from the start. You always want to keep a good impression of your band. Secondly, once you've confirmed that you can play the show, they're going to need your lineup details, so how many microphones you're going to need, any other random information, I would assume, and I can't be the only one. You're going to need 2 vocal mics, there's going to be 1 guitar, 1 bass, and a drum kit. Anything outside of that is something to be noted. Some bands have 3 guitarists. So when a promoter says to you, can I have your lineup details please? Don't just ignore the message, because it takes the pressure off you, because then they're the ones that are doing what they can to get all the stuff they need for you. And it gives them a good impression of your band, because they think these guys are on it. They're not going to chase it up, because they're going to be like, well, if this band turns up and we haven't got what they need, that's their problem, that's their fault. It's just all about forming those good connections with the people that are putting your band on. I booked a band recently and I was surprised at how organised they were. They sent me 2 emails, but in those 2 emails it was lineup details, it was information about them, music videos, interviews that they'd done, interviews that they were about to be doing, so that I could promote them in the best way possible. Send all the information you have to your promoter so that they can do what they can. Sometimes it's good to let them know what you want in your monitors. When I go on stage and the sound person says to me, what do you want in your monitors? I know instantly. I'm not like, oh, just see how it sounds. Because when you're first starting out, yeah, you are going to need to be like, oh, I'm going to see how it sounds on stage. But after the first three gigs, you're going to get used to what you're asking for in your monitors. I ask for as much as me as possible. I ask for some guitar. I don't really ask about drums because I can hear them. They're right behind me. And sometimes the second vocal mic, I mostly can hear that through his monitor or through the speakers if I'm at the front. I've got used to asking for that. So once you've got those first few gigs out of the way and you're like, right, this is what I generally ask for in my monitors, you can write that down, and it's after that you can then tweak it and be like, oh, actually, can I have a bit less of this, or can I have a bit more of this? So again, you're going to have a situation where the sound guy or girl, the sound person, is going to be like, these guys know what they're talking about. Great. I think the third point to do with your promoters and the people who are doing the sound for you is don't drop the microphone. If it's not your microphone, someone else has paid for that microphone that you are then going to just absentmindedly drop on the floor. The amount of microphones that you use that have dents in them, because people just drop them, and you end up having promoters and promotion companies that they have to fork out for new microphones. It shows a lack of respect for the people that are taking the effort to put your band on. They've gone through however many years of building up their profile to get to where they are, so that you can then play for them and so that other bands can play for them, you know? And you're kind of taking that and just being like, well, that's great that you put us on, but we're gonna damage your equipment now. But secondly to that, it makes this nasty cracking noise, and it can damage the speakers, and also the crowd ends up having this like smack into their ears. You know, the occasional click where you've accidentally dropped it or hit it against something, you know, it can't be helped. But when you're deliberately just chucking a microphone around, it's not cool. It can put a bad idea of your band into a promoter's mind. So the second part of this is more to do with respecting other people's bands. Like right now, I have a band t-shirt on from one of my friends' bands. If you're in a band, you're gonna make friends with people that are also in bands, just naturally. There are gonna be bands that you play with and you're gonna be like, I really like these guys, not just as a band, but as people as well. Like the amount of friends that I've gained on Facebook just through doing gigs, and it's people whose bands we've played with, is just crazy. It's like doubled my friends list. You need to build them up in the same way you'd like them to build you up. You can't go around playing gigs and expecting everyone to love you, but you not to do anything for them. You know, buy their merch and they will buy your merch. Buy their CDs, they will buy your CDs. If you're playing a show and the promoter says to you, I want another band, is there anyone you can think of? You know, bring your friends along. It makes the gig better because your mates are there. You end up having people that know your songs because they've come to see you, because you've come to see them, and you've played gigs together. For me, there's nothing like being in a band and being friends with other bands. It's so good. Even when you play a gig and you don't like the band that you're playing with, like it's not your genre that you like to listen to, it's a bit heavy for you, or it's not heavy enough for you, stay and watch them. Even if you don't watch their whole set, watch 2 or 3 songs, because it just gives them the thought that, oh, we are doing this for a reason. You know, imagine if you're playing a show and you're the heaviest band there, or you're the lightest band there, or something like that. The other bands just go off to the bar or go down the road to the McDonald's or whatever, and they don't stay and watch you. You end up playing to a very small group of people, which can be nice, but you're still going to sit there and be like, oh, the other band didn't come and watch us. Because we've been there. Every band has been in that situation where the other bands just haven't bothered to watch them. And yeah, okay, sometimes it can't be helped. Some of them, they've got work in the morning and they could only stay for a certain amount of time, or something like that. But when the whole band leaves, or all of the other bands apart from yours leave, and you end up just playing to a couple of people, it's disheartening. So whenever you can stay to watch another band, even if you're not a big fan of them, do it to build them up, because that's what you want. It's not a competition. It's not, oh, who can get famous first? Who can win this battle of the bands? It's about respect. That's all it is. It's just something that's very important to me as I'm in a band and I'm a promoter. And I just thought, people who aren't aware of what they might be accidentally doing wrong, it's something to bear in mind. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was informative. Also, don't cup the microphone. Don't. It's not a ball of Play-Doh. Hold it like you're holding an ice cream.
What you're saying